boys. Let me take this opportunity once again to welcome you to our online lesson. Boys, this morning, I want us to look at erosional features in the glaciated lowlands. What are some of the features that are formed in the glaciated lowlands? We have 4 features, and these features include number 1, Rochi Moutoni. Number 2, we have crag and tail. Number 3, we have depressions. And number 4, we have ice eroded plain. The 4 features that formed in the glaciated uplands are Rochi Moutoni, crag and tail, depressions, and ice eroded plain. Let's begin by looking at this feature called Rochi Moutoni. Boys, it is important that you note that Rochi Moutoni is formed when a rock outcrop lies on the path of the glacier. Point number 2. The glacier erode rocks particles on the upstream side. Point number 3. As the glacier approaches the rock outcrop, the upstream side of the rock outcrop is eroded by abrasion process. The abrasion process on the upstream side of the rock outcrop smoothens the upstream side of the rock outcrop and makes the upstream side of the rock outcrop to be gentle. The downstream side of the rock outcrop is eroded by plaquing process, making the downstream side of the rock outcrop to be steep and rugged. Eventually, a feature which is gentle and smooth on the upstream side and steep and rugged on the downstream side, known as Rochi Moutoni, is formed. Erosional feature number 2, crag and tail. Boys, crag and tail is formed when a resistant rock, like a volcanic plug, lies on the path of the glacier. The downstream side of this resistant rock has a less resistant or a softer rock. What happens, boys, is that the resistant rock is eroded by glacier through abrasion and plaquing. The materials of erosion are deposited on the downstream side on top of a softer rock. The resistant rock therefore form a feature known as a crag, while on the downstream side, the softer rock together with the deposited materials form a tail, hence the term crag and tail. Feature number 3 is known as depressions. Boys, depressions are similar to rock basin and are formed in the same way. The only difference is that depressions are formed in the lowland, while rock basins are formed in the uplands. How are depressions formed? Depressions are formed when an ice sheet covers a lowland area. Regions with softer rock will be eroded more through abrasion and plaquing, forming a depression on the surface of the earth. When glacier melts, such depressions may be filled with water to form glacial lakes. The last feature, boys, which I want us to look at, is known as ice eroded plain. What is an ice eroded plain? This is an extensive flat area which moraine has been deposited. How is it formed? An ice eroded plain, boys, is formed in an extensive land which is almost low-level lowland, which was previously under ice sheet. As the ice moved across the land, the hills were reduced to low, smoothened hillocks. The softer rocks were eroded to form shallow basins or depressions. The resistant rock were reduced to bare surfaces with scratches called striations. Later, ice modified this plain by depositing materials known as till in them to form an extensive low-level lowland, which is known as ice eroded plain. When we meet tomorrow, boys, we shall be looking at glacial transportation. Remember, we defined glaciation as a process through which glacier erodes, glacier transports, and glacier deposits materials on the surface of the earth. We have looked at how glacier erodes both in the upland and in the lowland. Tomorrow, we shall be looking at the second action of glacier, and that is transportation of glacier. Otherwise, if any of you will be having any question, then we can ask the question in our usual WhatsApp group. May all of you have a good day.